Christmas. This holiday has long been characterized by traditions that involve gift-giving, elaborate decorations, and an abundant spread of food. But for some, a new Christmas tradition is taking hold.
This is definitely the first Christmas I've spent working. I usually sleep in and eat lots of food and do nothing all day.
This year, instead of his normal Christmas activities, Caleb was focused on bringing joy into the lives of others. And he found that joy to be contagious.
I can't even explain that. I don't know. I want to be that happy, but I don't even know if it's possible for me.
This is Maranatha's Christmas Family Project in Kunti, India. 65 volunteers have taken time out of their busy schedules to experience an alternative holiday that is centered around service.
We want to get away from all the Christmas, the gift giving and back home, and actually give, our work, our hands to others, and be able to, carry mission work that way, and just give to others versus just, giving a gift here and there, and or meeting with families and, a nice meal, a nice gift. No, we wanted just to get away from all that and be able to provide, our work to others.
It helps the boys to understand that Christmas doesn't need to be about what I'm receiving, my pile of gifts under the tree. Their whole life this will be a memorable Christmas for them, and experiences last so much longer than gifts.
In 2018, Maranatha hosted 2 projects specifically designed for the growing group of families looking to spend Christmas focused on missions. While one group served in Bolivia, these volunteers traveled to India. One of the major goals of this project was to begin building the walls of a large school building on the campus of the Kunti Adventist School. The Kunti Adventist School was established in 1937. What started as a single building has grown to a sprawling campus. Today, more than 1,300 students from mostly non-Christian backgrounds study here, and the school has maxed their capacity with a waiting list of children that would like to attend. Quality Christian education draws families to the school, but classrooms are crowded, and the buildings are showing their age, stalling the school's growth.
I think if I had to learn in one of these classrooms, then I would probably like school less than I do now.
These schools here, obviously, you could tell are very old, and they aren't built as sturdy as our schools. I've seen the inside of the classroom. I've been right by the window, and it's very cold in their classrooms. And they have no way of heating up the classroom. They have no way of cooling down the classroom. It's just, they have to pray that it's going to be the perfect weather outside for the classroom to be comfortable to sit in. I think that the classroom that I sit in every single day, or the classrooms I sit in every day, I'm very blessed to have such a, I don't want to say higher level class, I want to say like a better class. If it's too hot outside, we'll just turn on the AC. If it's too cold outside, we'll just turn on the heater. And they don't have that privilege. So I think that it's very, very different seeing the way that they have to be, how they learn compared to the way I learn.
The school also lacks a proper space for assemblies and worships. Currently, children meet in the cafeteria, but there isn't enough space for everyone to sit, and some are forced to stand in the back. Constantly reconfiguring the space is a taxing exercise. Maranatha committed to constructing a large 12-classroom building on the Kunti campus. This will allow the elementary students to move out of their crumbling classrooms all over the campus and study under one roof. The structure will also include a large auditorium for worship and assemblies. The Christmas Family Project was the first of several volunteer groups that will complete the large structure.
Looking at the school when we first came here, all we had was a frame. And I looked at it just totally blankly because I have no idea what I'm doing with construction. And I believe that all of us have this drive and this passion to finish this school for these kids' education.
This is going to make a big improvement. I noticed the kids the other day, they were very happy to have us, and it was great to meet with them and shake hands with them and see the smiles on their faces. So when they walk into this new building, it's going to be a huge, huge change for them. And I'm glad to be a part of that. God looks down and he sees them. You know, he has the ability to do anything, but he's chosen to use these hands, these feet, you know, these eyes and heart, and you can't put a price on that. Being a part of something bigger than us.
Christmas wasn't the only celebration happening during the project. Volunteers Dwight and Chanel David commemorated their 11th wedding anniversary in India, a tradition they started the previous year.
We are celebrating an anniversary, our 10-year anniversary. So we thought that that would be a fabulous opportunity to celebrate with others while helping, you know, and supporting the Maranatha mission. So that made us, you know, that was the decision behind our first Maranatha experience.
Chanel wasn't as excited about Dwight's idea.
So when I first presented that idea to my wife, it was met with firm resistance. She didn't want any part of it because, you know, for her, it was our 10th anniversary, which was pretty special. And having that anniversary on a mission trip, her idea of a mission trip was a little different from mine. She thought that she would be in the jungle, on the tents, with you know, things falling on her. So it took a lot of prayer and convincing before she actually was willing, and she came kicking and screaming.
I really wasn't going for it because I thought we should be off to some exotic place, but he thought that this would be best for us because our whole mission is to serve others.
The couple joined a group of volunteers to help build new classrooms for the Sao Tome Adventist Primary School. The experience changed their perspective on service.
It really brought me to understand that it's not about me, but it's about others. Serving others is probably the ultimate goal of our marriage, which is to be an asset and not a liability. So being able to go on that trip really changes my perspective on life and what we need to be focused on.
Now, Dwight and Chanel can't imagine celebrating their anniversary any other way.
After our experience in Sao Tome, we decided that it would be something that we will do annually for all our anniversaries from now on, because we saw so much that made us a blessing. It blessed us so that now we realize that being here just helps us to grow spiritually.
The fact that they're volunteering around Christmas is an added bonus.
Well, Christmas is a time for giving. It's my favorite time of the year. In fact, that's the reason why I got married at Christmas time, because I believe that as God came into this world, we too can use this time as an opportunity to witness, to give ourselves to others. And so that's why I chose Christmas time to do my trips.
When we come back, learn what makes Maranatha Family Project special.
Anyone can build a church. Simply give just $10 each month, and your donation, along with thousands of others, will fund a new place of worship every month. The potential for change is all around you. All you have to do is look.
Each year, Maranatha hosts more than 60 projects all over the world. Although children are welcome on most Maranatha mission trips, the experience they receive on family projects is truly special, something Teresa Owen discovered when she took her oldest son Ryler on a mission trip to Brazil.
I was really excited to take him to Brazil because I had been in Brazil previously in my growing up years as a missionary kid, and I really wanted him to be and experience the country that I loved. And so Karen had said to me, well, you know, it's not a family trip. Kind of hint, hint, but I wasn't taking the hint. And so I said, well, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. I'll just be on the job site. And I'll work with him, and my dad's going, and, you know, we can just be there as a family, and it'll be fine. And he did enjoy the trip, but, you know, he was really kind of, there wasn't programming planned for him, which was no one's fault, you know, because it wasn't designed for that. And he just was a little bit at loose ends.
Teresa continued to serve on Maranatha mission trips, leaving her boys at home. But when she saw Maranatha would be hosting a family project in Kenya, she decided it was time for her kids to give missions another try. Ryler wasn't super keen on the idea.
Oh, absolutely. I am not going. I will not go. You will not get me on that plane. I am not going on another mission trip. And I always told him, Ryler, listen, this one is designed for families. There's going to be tons of kids your age. You're going to have a blast. You're going to make new friends. You're going to have activities that you can participate in as a kid that it's going to just be awesome, and you're going to love it.
Everything changed when they landed in Kenya and discovered a large group of kids ready to serve and an environment specifically designed with families in mind. Since their first family project in Kenya, Teresa and her boys have volunteered in Bolivia and now in India. The initial feeling of dread is gone as the boys now look forward to each mission adventure.
I think it's just getting to know all these people and the way they live and just helping them, because they're so in need of all these things, but they're so happy still. And we are always wanting more, but we have everything. And I think it's just really awesome to see how they live and they're happy, and we live and most of us aren't happy.
Teresa and her boys are just a few of the family project veterans on this trip. Over the last 6 years, Danny Poljak has volunteered on 11 Maranatha family projects, serving as the construction leader on most of the trips. For some, having young children on a construction site may seem like a recipe for disaster, but making sure the kids stay involved and safe is something Danny has mastered.
The main difference is that you include kids on a project, and you have to be cautious about so many things. We implement safety on every other project, but we really pay attention when we have kids on site that they are safe and that they can work with their family, their parents, grandparents, so that they can experience that working together in mission.
Each day, the kids were involved in raising the walls of the new school building. But construction was just a small part of what they experienced.
Family projects have a lot more programming that allow the children to have a cultural experience for that whatever country they may be in. They may go to the market, they may purchase fruits and vegetables for the group, they may like we did here, purchase goats to give away to the villagers and the families. There's a lot more cultural interaction, I think, specifically targeted for the kids in these, in the family groups. And they have a lot more opportunity to interact with locals. You know, local kids, and maybe adults, but they get an exposure to the local culture that's built in. Maranatha targets and specifically builds that into family projects.
Giving kids opportunities to not only serve, but learn more about the world around them is something that is fostered on Maranatha family projects. In India, their activities included working with a local potter. The experience was immersive, allowing the kids to get their hands dirty while learning important life lessons.
If you just watch the guy doing it, he can just move his hands and it forms something. And it almost reminds me of how God shaped Adam and how he breathe the breath of life into them. It's like you're breathing your own creative breath of life into your whatever you make, vase, a pot, plate, anything you want. So I think that's really cool.
Some of the other activities were harvesting vegetables and selling them at a local market.
I did it! Finally!
What's money making?
Kids also bagged portions of rice and lentils to hand out in a local village. The experience gave them a window into what life is like in rural India.
It's very different seeing poverty first-handed than seeing it in images online. I think I probably almost cried about 4 times we were there, and seeing that just like the smallest bag of food really lifts their whole spirit up compared to when I can just go down the street to a supermarket and buy it super easily. It's like this food is like gold to them, so definitely giving food to the village was my favorite.
The programming on family projects may seem like just a fun way to keep the kids busy, but the exposure to a new culture often has an impact that lasts beyond the mission trip.
I think there's a level of maturity that wasn't there before I started taking them consistently on trips like this. And there's just the ability for them to say, you know, I don't need a big house, I don't need 100 toys. I think they're more content with what they have.
My brother and me have totally different personalities, and we can never agree on anything, but yet on mission trips, it all seems to be the opposite. We have the same personality, and I've always want to do the same things, and I think it's just really good, and it brings us together as a family.
When we come back, hear more of the ways Christmas Family Project volunteers gave back.
These women spend 560 minutes a day fetching water. Water is life. But your life shouldn't revolve around water. We're raising money for water wells. Make a donation. Give women the gift of time, health, family. Sponsor a well. Give water, give life.
On the construction site, volunteers made progress constructing the walls of a large school building at the Kunti Adventist School. A smaller group of volunteers also visited neighboring villages, offering medical care to those in need. But on Christmas Eve, work stopped, and all the volunteers traveled to a nearby orphanage to share Christmas cheer.
It was really fun doing the play, and it was fun seeing Santa Claus. And I love interacting with the children, playing sports with them, teaching them how to throw a football.
I have to say that my favorite experience from being in India is going to the orphanage. We got to go there on Christmas Eve, and it was just, I have to say, the most amazing experience ever. The children, The children show you just so much love and appreciation for the little things that you do. I had a little lame girl sitting in my lap, and she just kept turning around and looking at me and she just kept putting my arms around her, and she just was so happy that she got to have some physical contact, and they were so grateful for the little gifts that we had to give. And I mean, I cannot believe how amazing that we got to just be there with them and experience that.
Even though we didn't speak their language, it was so nice to like see their faces smiling and really seeing them happy, because like honestly, I don't think they ever got presents on Christmas, so it's really, really nice to give.
The last Sabbath of the trip, volunteers joined a local congregation for worship in a recently constructed Maranatha church. After the service, they blessed the community with warm blankets and prayer.
How's taking care of them? We love you.
Spending time with a larger family in Christ is one of the major benefits of Maranatha Family Projects. It's a benefit Teresa sees worth the financial sacrifice required to make international mission trips possible.
Happy Sabbath. I believe it's an investment in my children. It's an investment in exposing them to the world. And it's also an investment in helping them to understand that people all around the world, their skin color may be different, they may live in a different house, they may drive a different vehicle, they may wear different clothing. We all love the same God. And I want my kids to know that, and I want them to know that they have a relationship with God back in the U.S., but so does this child in Bolivia, so does this child in India. They love God, and it's so great for my kids to see and experience vibrant youth, vibrantly in a relationship with God, vibrantly praising God. You know, it's great for them to see that all around the world, we may be different, but we love the same God.
It's a big deal, I think, because you are able to put whole family in an environment where they are not comfortable. So that makes them kind of open for so many things, to interact with each other, to interact with local people, to interact with brothers and sisters that we meet on the projects. I've been on few family projects, and I have not seen anybody going home unhappy and not satisfied. So there are so many rich experiences that we take from here and bring home. We come here to be a blessing, but what ends up that sometimes we are blessed more than we deliver the blessing.
Family mission trips may be a major investment, but it looks like the investment is paying off.
Christmas is like, it's kind of like off-centered, because like Christmas is, we're celebrating Christ's birth, and people are really like, me, give me this, give me that. And I think like it's not, we're not celebrating your birthday, we're celebrating Jesus' birthday. And I think coming on mission trips, you're really giving back to him, which is great.
I have to say that spending my Christmas in India has been the absolute greatest blessing I have ever experienced. You forget in the busyness and the hustle and bustle of the Christmas season what it's truly about and what the core meaning of Christmas is. It's about Christ and what he came to do and what he came to share here on earth. And we are meant to be channels for Christ, and the fact what Maranatha allows us to do is exactly that. We get to go and serve, but not only in just a superficial way, but in a way that will make a true and lasting impact, not only on them, but on us. I mean, this may not be the most ideal Christmas with snow and with Santa and reindeer, but it's absolutely the most fulfilling way to spend my holiday.
It's so amazing that we can bring so much joy to other people. And I think that if everyone in the world spent their Christmases like this, the world would just be an all-around better place.